think for a long time, I had this idea in my head through some unresolved psychology, of course, because it's always about psychology. I had this belief that I had this sense that I knew what I was, the kind of work that I was to be doing, like my service to life. Not necessarily like very detailed aspects of that service, but just knowing that I'm here to serve life. I'm here to be in service to help humanity, help raise up the collective consciousness in some way, which you can do in a variety of ways. But I felt like I would look at people in the world and see them doing a version of that, right? And feel inadequate or feeling less than because I hadn't yet manifested my version of that. My version of service and advising and counseling, for example. And obviously it's a separate self. Like, why am I not more ahead? But more than that, I think it's around, for me, and perhaps for a lot of people, I guess I just wanted, to be further along than I currently am, and then not accepting that with the material universe, things take time. And without that acceptance and understanding and perspective, you can find yourself in these cycles of self-sabotage, okay? Because you don't want to put in the necessary next right step to get from A to B to C to D. And so you give up and you start the process all over again. And it's a separate self that's just keeping you in this loop, in this cycle. And you can apply this to any aspect of your life. It's not just about, occupation or your aspirational career goals, career aspirations, but you can apply that to anything. And so as I'm going back to school this semester to finish up my associate's degree, I am seeing the different ways my life could pan out without fixating on anything, any outcome, but just seeing, like, what if I just accept where I am? And it may not be the thing, but as a spiritual person, everything is an opportunity for growth. That's why I made a song about it. And that's titled Everything is an Opportunity. Check my YouTube playlist videos if you want to feel motivated or inspired. So yeah, I just wanted to share that insight because I know that it can be, with unresolved psychology, there can be, disappointment and dissatisfaction and emotional loops and cycles that just don't feel good and comfortable, because we know that there's another way ultimately, and I know that there's another way to be and to see the situation. And so I just get radically honest with myself and just realize that this is not an ideal planet. We don't live in a perfect world, and you just do one next step to get you to the next thing, get you to the next thing, to help you see a certain thing so you can resolve certain psychology so you can get what you actually want. So things become more of a flow to where you are just living out your service to life. And I think, when I look at other people in the spiritual path that are doing that, for a long time, I don't know if it was envy or jealousy. I think it's probably started as that, and then it like, as I've resolved my psychology, it transformed more into like I just want to be doing that too. I just want to be doing my own version of what I'm here to do. It's just very simple. It has nothing to do with the other person, or it's just like, oh, I want that. What an inspiration that this person resolved enough psychology to where they can just be in flow and lock down in their niche and go for it. And I thought, if I'm not doing that, something's wrong with me. Again, going back to that, one of those core wounds, right? The core separate selves of like, well, something's wrong with me. If my life doesn't look like that, or if it's not as easy for me, then it's because it's my fault and something's wrong with me. Over and over and over again, something's wrong with me. No. You don't have it, any worse than anyone else. You're a human being. We all have different life plans and different psychologies that range from such a wide spectrum. But I am not inherently less capable of resolving my psychology than anyone else. You just make a decision, you learn from the decision, and you rinse and repeat. And that's how you grow. So, hope that's helpful to anyone that needed to hear it.